rare and balanced view on politics in today's world. Based on facts, born of rationality, common sense, and logic, providing context on today's events. This is American Perspective with Rick Thomas.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to American Perspective. I am your host, Rick. Hey, a couple of things, programming notes. If you hear some sounds in the background, especially, let's just put it this way. The FA-18s of the nearby naval base have been flying in and out quite a bit today. So, and they are flying right over the studio here. And so if you happen to hear them come through on the microphone, that's what it is. It's freedom. So there you go. Obviously because I'm closer, I should come through a lot louder than they are. But yeah, they come flying over. Their airfield is to the west of me. And they occasionally they come through and they do this. We got EA-6B Prowlers as well at the air base. So, but these are FA-18s. So, yeah, just so you know, in case they come over during the program, they've been coming over all day long. So, which again is that's the sound of freedom, folks. That's the sound of America's Navy doing what America's Navy does, which is kick ass and take names, just like every other service that we have. They all do. All right. And second thing, if I have to move my microphone, apparently my microphone stand here has developed a squeak. Yeah, so if I have to move my mic a little bit, you may hear the squeak. I don't know, maybe not. Now it's not going to do it because I called it out. But anyway, I gotta lubricate it. At least I hope. It may not be the EA-6B. It might be something different. But I know there was a Prowler squadron over there at one point. So I don't know if that's still them or if they've switched all the way over to the FA-18 or something else. But anyway, so. Nana, if I drank every time I heard a squeak, I would be in some serious trouble. Anyway, all right. Well, tonight is, of course, the wonderful and famous
Down to business.
That's the nectar of the gods, baby.
That's right. It's Whiskey Wednesday. It's like Taco Tuesday, but for badasses. And for tonight, because I'm not really, I don't have a large, I've gotten rid of a lot of my bottles, so I'm starting to taper things down and make room for some others. But Buffalo Trace for tonight has been for the last couple of nights. But, of course, it is in the True Grit Roots Network glass. So there you go. And requisite for, can't forget, there's the Stones, obviously, because it takes stones to drink with whiskey. But anyway, here we go. That's some good stuff right there. All right, let's get things kicked off. We're back at the top of the lineup. I haven't seen Amy in yet tonight. I hope everything is okay with all of her pups. But she is up tonight for the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you are of mind, please stand, remove your hat, if you're wearing one like me. Place your hand over your heart and follow along with Amy as she recites the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and of course, I thank you, Amy, for that wonderful rendition of the pledge. If you would like to hear your rendition of the pledge played here on the program, all you need to do is record yourself performing or reciting the pledge in your style, and then take that audio file, video file, whatever kind of file, and send it off to me. You can attach it to an email and send it off to fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online. That's fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online, and I will get you into the program. And of course, I've already shown you that we are drinking out of the True Grit Roots Network glass, so you know what that means. That means that we are, the headline sponsor is the TGRN, True Grit Roots Network. TGRN.net is our home on the web, and you can head there, download our app, or listen directly through your web browser to either one of our channels, whether it is the Walter Trout Blues Rock Radio or, of course, the Dallas Moore Outlaw Radio. Well, I have an announcement tonight. My buddy, Jonathan Oogie Richards, and his daughter, Ember Burhill, they have updated their logo of their show, Dirty Boots Radio. It's now, I haven't heard this 100% for sure, but it's been updated. There is the logo. It's now, I'm thinking they're going to change the name. I think they are going to slightly change the name. Instead of Dirty Boots Radio, it's going to be Dirty Boots Roadhouse. But take a look at that patriotic logo. And of course, I had to show that because it is a patriotic logo. It is really cool. You know, he does all his logos and stuff. He does a lot of his stuff, a lot of the station stuff all on his own. I need to commission him for a couple of things. You know, in the future. But anyway, Dirty Boots Roadhouse, it airs on Thursdays. You can listen to it at, and these are all Central Time, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 8 p.m. Central Time. Okay? 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 8 p.m. Central Time for Dirty Boots, and I think it's going to be called Roadhouse, Dirty Boots Roadhouse. They are also expanding their music format. They are adding in blues, rock, southern rock, that is all in addition to their standard outlaw and classic country mix. So they're actually adding in other genres as a part of the Dirty Boots Roadhouse. And I think it's going to be it's an upgrade in both the logo and, of course, the sound that they are going to be presenting. So I invite all of you to check it out. Check out Dirty Boots Radio or Dirty Boots Roadhouse, whichever one it's going to end up being, by heading off to tgrn.net. That's True Grit Roots Network. Head on over to tgrn.net, download the Dallas Moore Outlaw Radio app, or listen directly through your browser to the Dallas Moore Outlaw Radio channel. Tomorrow, Thursday, 10 p.m., or 10 p.m., what am I saying? 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 8 p.m. over there on Dallas Moore Outlaw Radio. Listen to Dirty Boots Roadhouse or Dirty Boots Radio, whichever way it's going to go. And you can check out their new sound. And, of course, this is their new logo. Go to tgrn.net. TGRN stands for True Grit Roots Network. And we are based out of Austin, Texas. And let's see. I got to get the right combination of buttons here. All right. Well, there we go. That is a fantastic thing. How much is membership? Buddy, there's no membership. There's no membership. If you're talking about TGRN, you just listen. That's it. We offer it up for free. I mean, it's like regular terrestrial radio in a way, except on your mobile device, mobile phone, digital radio. So anyway, yeah. But I wanted to show you that. That is a fantastic logo. When he sent it to me, or when I saw it update on Facebook, it was kind of cool. So anyway, all right. Well, some sad news. Sad news. Some Army sergeant, Army sergeant at a Georgia military base. The Georgia military base is Fort Stewart. And yes, Ms. T, sorry, I got to back up because, of course, the chat's running a little bit behind of the actual programming. But Ms. T, you absolutely can use your computer. Just go to the computer and go into tgrn.net, and you'll be able to listen right through the browser that you're at. We've got a little widget that you can just pop it out and listen to it all day long. You can also listen on Roku. You can listen on, because Roku has the Live 365 app. You can also listen on your Alexa device. I'm not quite sure about the Google device, like the Google Dot or Spot or whatever the hell it is, but yeah, you can go and take that out. So, yeah, absolutely. You can go and check all of that out. We're all over the place. TGRN is everywhere, ubiquitous. Anyway, getting back to this, an Army sergeant went ahead and opened fire at a Georgia military base. It was Fort Stewart, not my old alma mater of Fort Gordon, Georgia, but Fort Stewart, Georgia. And Fort Stewart is, by the way, the largest U.S. Army installation east of the Mississippi River. It's home to the Army's 3rd Infantry Division. And he apparently opened fire on today, shooting 5 U.S. Army soldiers. And before he was apprehended. Now, all 5 of the victims were treated at the base that they were transported to, which is Wynn Army Community Hospital. The victims, who have not yet been identified, are all in stable condition and are all expected to recover. So the suspected gunman was identified as a 28-year-old logistics sergeant assigned to the 2nd Brigade Combat Team, who also has not previously deployed to combat. The Army believes that the shooter used a personal handgun. Just so anybody knows, okay, the military usually locks up their weapons unless you're able to pull them out. Unless you're able to, like, you're running off to the range or you're going out to the field, they usually keep all the weapons in an armory. So it's not like you can just have access to, say, the M4 or whatever other thing. So this obviously was a personal shooting. Soldiers in the area, according to Brigadier General John Lubus, he said soldiers in the area that witnessed the shooting immediately and without hesitation tackled the shooter and subdued him. That allowed law enforcement to then take him into custody. So it remains unclear, at least for now, what his motivations were. But the shooting did take place at the soldier's unit, meaning that the shooter's unit where he was working, it took place there and obviously involved his coworkers. So the belief is that this is a personal attack. So it's not something that it would be considered like a terrorist threat or anything else. This is probably something personally motivated in this particular case. So yeah. And things happened really quickly because apparently law enforcement was dispatched for a possible shooting at 10:56 a.m. and the shooter was apprehended at 11:35. So, according to the law enforcement journal. So, anyway, yeah, that pretty much is about all of the factual details that I can tell you at this point. Again, this is, look, folks, let's just put it out there. Violence is not the answer to anything. It really isn't. violence is not the answer to anything, unless it is to put down other violence. Then it is the answer. But to initiate violence, that is not the answer. It's not the answer to anything other than a swift, response to violence. We need to understand that words themselves are not violence, and that we need to get back to the idea and the precept that, again, like somebody pointed out the other night, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That rhyme, I wanted to call it a nursery rhyme, but it's not, but it's a rhyme. And that pretty much is, that's just an adage that you should take into account. I mean, I get hit with stupid stuff all day long on social media. Granted, I kind of attract the attention. I do, just because of some of the things that I say. But the reality of it is that no matter what happens, when you have a moron, and that's literally who they are, is a moron who sits there and says that just because you back President Trump, you're also a pedophile as well, even though Trump has never been proven to be a pedophile at all, has literally zero evidence of anything regarding pedophilia, other than a, scant association with somebody who was later, after the association was broken, later accused of and convicted of being a pedophile. You just automatically assume because you're a moron, and I'm talking to you leftist idiots out there, you automatically assume that just because there is an association, that means that you're automatically grouped in with that same individual, regardless of what the association might have been. Could have been fleeting, could have been short, could have been just, hey, I happen to know this person in terms of their name. That's it. And yet they go ahead and pull all that bullshit. Yeah. So it doesn't bother me, though. I mean, I only bring it up here just so you understand that what other people think of you, first of all, is not your business. That's number one. And number two, even if it was your business or it was made known to you, you have a choice. You can either place the value, place a value or any value on that opinion of that individual, or you can decide, like I do in most cases, that, first of all, that person has zero knowledge of who I am. And second of all, even if they did have knowledge of who I am, their opinion matters not to me. The only opinions that matter to me are the ones that I place value on. And outside of that, you really don't count. Let's just put it that way. And I can guarantee you morons definitely don't count. So, all right, let's talk about the next thing. I'm waiting for the protests to happen here. You know, all those protests that happened, the whole bunch of, 20 people, if that showed up outside of Colbert Studios when he got canceled. When Colbert got canceled, well, Howard Stern got canceled. His show is set to be canceled. That's right. Howard Stern. Now, most people know him as the shock jock. He is like the person who created the shock jock genre. All right. But apparently, he left regular radio mainly just because of the fact that he couldn't do all of the things that he wanted to do on regular radio because of the FCC and the regulations that are required. I mean, I'll be honest with you, that's sort of why digital radio, in terms of the internet, is really taking off, because of the fact that the FCC has so many restrictions and limited, there's limited airwaves and things like that. Plus, it takes a lot of money to actually get involved in some sort of a terrestrial radio. But this individual, left terrestrial radio. He penned a deal with Sirius XM, and he, that was 2 decades ago. So that's 20 years ago. He's been headlining Sirius XM in the talk show genre over there, and his contract apparently is not going to be renewed. According to a report from The Sun, Sirius XM is expected to make an offer, though they're assuming, of course, that Stern will not be accepting it. Now, the thing is that Sirius XM has been actually losing money. Once again, I'm telling you folks, this is serious. Outside of people who self-fund stuff like I do, okay? Outside of people who self-fund things, the entertainment industry is a literal business. You have to be making money in order to keep it going. It is not some sort of a public service thing. It's not, a government-funded boondoggle, that will continue forever and ever, as NPR and PBS just found out. But the point is that you've got to be able to attract attention. You've got to be able to hold the listening audience, hold them, because that's the entertainment. Because again, as I've pointed out, even in this genre, the podcasting genre, okay, I have to be entertaining enough, realistically, to be able to attract you, the viewers, the listeners, the people who are on the audio portion of the program. You guys are listening. The video portion of the program, to all of the people who want to watch this, okay? And what has to happen is I basically have to bring you in. Now, if I can bring you in and I can hold you captive, you're a captive audience, and you are my product that I would pass on to advertisers, like the whole, the Rumble ad point is making. Advertisers want to get their products and services put in front of as many people as they possibly can. That's how advertising works. That's how the entire media industry works, whether it's radio or television broadcasting or podcasting. That's how it works. You, the listener, the audience, are the product. I am simply the person who is basically like a honey trap. I attract you to my show because of the things that I do and say and show and, whatever kind of flashy stuff, which is part of the reason why shock jocks back in the day, Howard Stern was able to attract people when he first did this, because of the fact that he would, he basically did something new and exciting, and it was great and it was awesome. It was, stand up to the man kind of thing, so on and so forth. And the thing about it is that people just don't seem to understand is that everything is a business. If you're not making any money at it, there's no reason to actually do it. Now, again, when you first start something like what we did with True Grit Roots Network, okay, there is a period of time where you have to be understanding of the fact that you are going to lose money, because you can't just automatically attract people to the show. Okay. I myself, this is my 5th year doing this, and I have a very loyal base. I understand that, and I've got to keep you. I need to expand that base, that loyal base. I've got to expand on it if I wanted to make this a career, in which case I'm trying to, figure it out. Okay. But the reality of it is that if I want to make money doing this, if I want to actually do this for my career, I've got to at least break even. I've got to make enough money from advertisements and sponsors and those kinds of things to be able to bring in money to supplement or overtake my income. And that's essentially what is going on. Now, the podcasting space, the digital radio space, all of this is a challenge to terrestrial radio. The reason being is because if I was dependent upon terrestrial radio, you guys all across the world, which to me is a huge accomplishment, you guys all across the world would not be able to necessarily listen to me if I was only on terrestrial radio. This is why the internet is such a fantastic place for me to be. Because I have people who are from Florida, Wyoming, California, Pennsylvania, and even all the way as far away as Australia. That's a worldwide presence. And that's something that not too many people, okay, not too many people are able to do. Now, most radio stations, and believe it or not, television stations have jumped into this field, in this genre, okay? Oh, I can't forget Texas. You're right. I can't forget Texas. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I knew I missed somebody. Anyway, but the thing about it is that in this particular field, the thing that's great about the internet is you can pick it up anywhere. Oh, and I can't forget Ohio. Yes, Ohio as well. I know. See, there's so many different places that I am reaching. North Carolina, Ohio. I mean, we could just start listing off all of the wonderful states, and every single one of you is important to me. As far as that goes, you know. Everybody out there, all of you, is important to me. Because of the fact that I now have an international reach. You know, the thing about it is I need to be able to expand the listenership and get it further and further. But even the terrestrial radio stations have picked up on this, because oftentimes what they'll do is they'll have a streaming connection on their websites. So, for an example, if you wanted to listen to, say, Hannah Guile out of Jacksonville, Florida, on her station, okay, that would essentially, you could go to their website and they likely have some sort of a link, and you would probably be able to stream her. So there you go. But the thing, again, to wrap this all up, because I've kind of been responding to the chat at the same time, to wrap this all up, the point is, though, is I have to be entertaining enough to hold all of your guys' attention. I have to be entertaining enough to make sure that you folks tune in on a regular basis. And once I get to a certain level, then I'm able to take you, again, as my product, and put it in front of advertisers and say, hey, I can guarantee you that I can grab 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, however many listeners, 5 days a week for a minimum of an hour per day, and be able to hang on to that individual for that time. And so if you come and want to advertise with me, I can put your product up in front of them, and that's how this whole thing works. That's how the money flows. And when you can no longer do that, you get canceled, which is what Stephen Colbert, Howard Stern, Joy Reid, and all of the rest of them that have since been canceled because they just can't hold the viewers. And when you realize that you, the viewers, are the ones that make me into who I am, I need to be thankful to you for everything that you guys are doing. You guys do the thing that I can't. Because if you didn't exist, I'm just simply a voice yelling into the void. Without having an audience, this wouldn't even go anywhere. It wouldn't even matter. So, there you go. So thank you very much for showing up. And in fact, I will give you a round of applause for that. And you're right. It's not just the show. There's so many other things that go on. It's like, you know, my products, my shirts, the Institute on the Constitution, the other advertisers that I'm there, everything. It's all a part of it. So, anyway, right. Let me go ahead and grab this. I see one. This is a new one for us, but I think it's important. I think I've done this one before. Come on. It does not want to do it. Well, that sucks. All right, let's try this one. See if this one does. There we go. All right, this is a new one. anyone who is outdoors, so all right, outdoor crew, or anyone who just wants to be ready for anything, check out the Red Pro Series 72-hour emergency kit from Caddis Sports. This is a serious 72-hour survival pack built into a rugged tactical backpack and loaded with everything a single person needs. Boy, you should get, I'm going to tell you this, you guys should grab these and stick them in your car. Just saying. Also have them available for you in case you have to bug out really quick. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes. Here, everything, it's a rugged tactical backpack loaded with everything one person needs for 72-hour survival. That's 2,400 calories of food bars, 5 water pouches, a thermal emergency blanket, a 36-piece first aid kit. They also have included an emergency stove with a canteen cup. All of this has a 5-year shelf life. So you're covered for hurricanes. Florida, listen up. Wildfires, pretty much anybody. Blackouts, that's pretty much anybody. All right? And whatever life throws at you, whether you're off grid or just want peace of mind at home, this kit is a must-have. Compact, reliable, and made for real emergencies. Use code RUMBLE, that's RUMBLE, at checkout for 10% off your order today. Go to caddissports.com. That's CADDISSPORTS, caddissports.com. To gear up, stay safe, and be ready when it counts. Use promo code RUMBLE at checkout at caddissports.com to get 10% off of your order for this 72-hour emergency kit that comes in a tactical backpack. Go to Caddis Sports, CADDISSPORTS.com. Use promo code RUMBLE, RUMBLE, at checkout in order to get 10% off your order. Go to caddissports.com today to gear up, stay safe, and be ready when it counts. That looks like a fantastic thing. I'm going to have to go and check that out myself, man. Yeah, they got all kinds of stuff. All right. Well, the gerrymandering idea continues. And here's the problem. The left seems to think that they're going to fight the gerrymandering in Texas by none other than gerrymandering their own states. Yeah. Gerrymandering to fight gerrymandering. You know, it's funny. They sit there and they claim Texas gerrymandering is illegal, and yet they have been doing it for years. Oh, what am I talking about? Well, Newsom, Gavin Newsom, that's right. Old slick hair greaser himself. And by greaser, I mean his hair, okay? The oil in his hair. Let's be honest. He accuses Republicans of gerrymandering in states. Well, here's how stupid he actually is. Or, well, let's be honest. The intern that is working with him, or working on his account, you know, that he's putting out for this. He listed states that literally only have one singular seat. They don't even have enough. They don't even have enough population to warrant more than one seat. And this guy or his intern or whoever is in charge of his social media put it on there. Oh yeah, they're gerrymandering everywhere. Really? They are. Okay. The list included Alaska, North and South Dakota, and Wyoming. How in the hell do you gerrymander a single seat state? I mean, oh my God. He's either Newsom is dumb or he's really that stupid. Or option 3, of course, is that his intern that had been tweeting for him. Yeah, they just AI'd it. What a dumbass. Of course, the media is not going to call him out for it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, how stupid can he be? Well, he is claiming that California is going to plan on cutting cutting up to 5 House GOP seats through gerrymandering. Yeah. Except there's, like I said, only one problem. They have a draft proposal to redraw the state's congressional district lines in a way that they think is going to weaken Republican representation while shoring up Democratic advantages in competitive regions. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Although the plan itself, this is in the National Pulse, although the plan itself hasn't been formally unveiled, it is expected to target several Republican-controlled districts by reducing the number of conservative voters and boosting liberal turnout in those states. Districts currently held by GOP representatives such as Ken Calvert, Darren Issa, Kevin Kiley, David Valadao, I think that's right, or Valado, I guess, and Doug LaMalfa would be among those affected. On the other hand, seats like Democrats Dave Min, Mike Levin, and Derek Tran would likely become more secure under those boundaries. Now, I'm trying to understand how this is going to actually work because this redistricting push faces hurdles. State lawmakers must approve the plan, and the voters who previously opted to hand over redistricting responsibilities to an independent commission, yeah, they might be wary of the whole idea of gerrymandering. So, anyway, it's just, oh my gosh. Well, he's not the only one. There's this wonderful governor over in Massachusetts. Her name is Maura Healey. Oh, sure. Let me tell you, her freaking her dare challenge, whatever. She's got the GOP quaking in their boots. She's saying, "Hey, I'm going to redistrict my state, redistrict Massachusetts. I'm going to redistrict it." Really? You want to redistrict your state? Here's her state, folks. Take a close look at Massachusetts here. Now, for those of you that don't know, that's the one with the little boot hanging out in the white space that's supposed to be the Atlantic Ocean. Okay. What's up with this state here? I mean, let's just ask. What does it look like to you? Well, there's not a single Republican district in Massachusetts today. In fact, there's not even a Republican district that is bordered on the state of Massachusetts. It's all freaking blue. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh yes, please. Redistrict. Go ahead. Oh my Lord. How stupid can these people be? Jesus Christmas. How stupid can they be? Now, Massachusetts, by the way, hasn't had a Republican represent the state at all in Congress since 1996. That's nearly 30 years ago was the last Republican to represent Massachusetts. Oh, but please, yes, please, Miss Democrat Governor, redistrict your state. Sure. Speaking about that, Matt Whitlock. Let me go ahead. Matt Whitlock went ahead and made a list of, and I'm trying to line this up there we go. Made a list on X. And he's like, hey, for all of you that are freaking out about the Texas problem, take a look at this. Red states really, literally have nothing on blue state gerrymandering. For an example, California, 40% of the statewide vote is Republican, yet only 17% of the seats, that means a total of 9 out of 52 seats, are actually Republican. 40% of the state votes Republican, yet only 9 out of 52 are actually Republican districts. Massachusetts, of course, as I showed you, 35% of the state votes Republican, yet there's 0 seats that are Republican. Connecticut, 38% of the state votes Republican. Again, 0 seats are Republican. New York, 42% of the state is Republican or votes Republican. Yet 7 out of the 26 states, or less than 30% of the seats, are Republican. New Jersey, 43% of the statewide vote is Republican, and only 25% of the seats are Republican. That's 3 out of 12. Maryland, 38% of the state votes Republican, yet there's only 1 seat out of 8 that are Republican. New Mexico, 44% of the statewide vote is Republican. There's 0 Republican seats. Hawaii, 30% of the state votes Republican. 0% of the seats are Republican. Oregon, 42% Republican. 16% of the seats, only 1 out of the 6 are actually Republican. Washington, my home state, 38% of the state votes Republican. Only 2 out of the 10 seats that we have are Republican. Rhode Island, 38% of the state votes Republican. Only 0 of the seats are Republican. So don't sit here and tell us and start blaming us about this, thing called gerrymandering. That gerrymandering hasn't been done by the Democrats. Oh, gerrymandering. It's a bad word. Oh, these guys are doing this illegally. No, folks. No, it's not. Gerrymandering has been going on. Is it legal? Yes. Is it appropriate? Nah, I don't think so. I think what you should do is you should just, a district gets square, rectangle, that's it. None of these like jagged lines or, weird districts that look like a freaking river going across the state or whatever. Yeah. I mean, this is just, what a mess. What a total mess. And it's taken this in Texas to actually get people to realize that, hey, you know what? Gerrymandering probably is not a good thing. So I actually hope and pray that SCOTUS does get this Louisiana gerrymandering thing and basically state for the record that you cannot consider race as a part of a qualifier for putting up districts. You just must assume the population. That's it. Doesn't matter whether they're white, black, Hispanic, Asian, pink with purple polka dots. You just consider the population. That's it. And you're done. That's all you're allowed to do. In that case, most of these states would end up looking like I showed you last night. Most of these states will look like many of the red states where they have a lot of square districts in the state, and it just kind of fills in the rest of the state. Oh, boy. Anyway. Smooth. All right. So, everybody is, of course, looking at 2026 for this, for the whole gerrymandering thing. And they're also looking at 2028. So the other day, Trump was actually asked. He was asked while he was signing an executive order that was establishing an Olympics task force. He was basically asked, hey, who do you think is going to carry your torch forward and will be the favored Republican nominee in 2028. Well, Trump gave the obvious answer. His vice president. He was like, hey, you know what? Vance is going to be the natural successor to the Make America Great Again brand. He said, well, I think most likely, in all fairness, he's the vice president. Currently, he's doing a great job, and he would probably be favored at this point, which he is favored at this point when polls happen. That being said, though, the question is not just who would be at the top of the ticket when Trump is done, which, by the way, I just want to point out, this sort of blows the leftist narrative that Trump is looking to essentially be the president for a third term. Yeah, it ain't happening. Regardless of how many of you sycophantic morons seem to think that he's going to be able to do that, he's not. You do have a constitution. He is the most constitutional president of recent modern history. And I honestly, he's going to be done after this. But Trump did hint at a possible future ticket pairing. He says, I think Marco Rubio is also somebody that maybe would get together with JD in some form. Marco Rubio and JD Vance. That would be an interesting combination. Now, to be fair, Trump did also say that there were several other talented cabinet members who could also fill the VP slot should Vance decide to run as president in 2028. Trump said, we have incredible people, some of the people on the stage right here. It's too early, obviously, to talk about it. And I agree. It is too early to talk about it. But that's okay. That's not a problem. Well, Trump floated something in terms of taking back D.C. Taking back D.C. And what he's talking about here is just taking it back under federal control. Now, keep in mind, constitutionally, Congress has full control of the 10 square mile area that is known as the district. That's it. Okay? Trump has been talking about having Washington take over D.C. Now, why did he do this? Well, there was an incident where and this happened on an early Sunday morning. There was a woman who was in a car that was approached by some teenagers who demanded that she hand over her car. It was a carjacking. A bystander saw what was happening and went ahead and got involved. Now, that bystander wound up being beaten bloody by the group of teens, but it did stop the carjacking attempt. I mean, he paid for it dearly for stepping in. Well, Trump highlighted the case on Truth Social, saying that crime is way out of control because those teens were not held accountable. And his post also included a photo of the guy that had stepped in and was subsequently beaten up. Well, shortly after that post happened, Elon Musk went ahead and quoted it and added that the person who had been attacked was a Doge team member, although he didn't say who the Doge team member was. And later, a little bit later, after that post, one of the man's friends posted that he'd taken the photo, and he identified the Doge employee as Big Balls. That's right, Edward Korenstein. who made a lot of news while he was in working with Doge. So now the group that was supposedly broken up was described as 8 thugs. The exact number they don't really know, because at this point it was more than 2. We know that. And 2 of the thugs have already been arrested by police. But yeah, so okay, sorry, they hadn't been arrested, but they indicate 2 of the suspects that are around, a 15-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl from Hyattsville, Maryland, were taken into custody and charged with the carjacking. So, yeah. And then the Washington Post went and basically connected that attack with Jeanine Pirro heading off to the White House to talk about crime in D.C. So they tied it together. And, yeah. All of that being said, though, violent crime is actually down in D.C. so far this year. 26%, according to some estimates. And crime itself is actually down this year, according to the FBI. So the FBI crime statistics note that crime rates fell in 2024, with violent crime as a whole falling 4.5% compared with 2023. The FBI estimates a violent crime occurred about 1 every 26 seconds in the U.S. last year. FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino wrote in X in response to the news, "We are not letting up. We have multiple operations going on nationwide to clear violent criminal trash off your streets." So reported murders, according to the FBI, fell by nearly 15% in 2024. Robbery fell by 9%, rape by 5.2%, and aggravated assault by 3%. So, yeah, property crime itself also fell by 8.1% last year. Motor vehicle theft is down 18.6%. Burglary is down 8.6%. Larceny down 5.5%. Hate crimes have also been reported to have fallen by 1.5% when compared to 2023. And the top ethnic groups, race groups, to experience hate crimes in 2024 include Black, Jewish, gay, white, and Hispanic. Bongino pledged that the FBI will continue to update Americans all summer on arrest numbers from Operation, quote, Summer Heat, as we work with our state and local partners to make American streets the safest they've ever been. So the Operation Summer Heat is the FBI's nationwide initiative targeting violent crimes, gangs, and dismantling transnational criminal organizations, according to the FBI. So, yeah. Crime is going down. And the reason why, literally the reason why, is because of the fact that it is, we've got a new sheriff in town. I mean, let's just face it. We've got a new sheriff in town. And that's essentially why. All right. All right, I want to pick this one up, if it'll run. And it does. All right, outdoor crew, if you're into fishing, camping, or getting off the grid, meet your new best friend, the Hunter Orange 25-quart cooler from Caddis Sports. This isn't your average cooler. It's roto-molded for max durability, bear-proof, and 20% lighter than other brands. So it's easy to haul, whether you're deep in the backcountry or just setting up at the dock or the beach or wherever. You'll get up to 3 days of ice retention thanks to thick, high-performance insulation. That means cold drinks, fresh food, and fewer ice runs, whether you're chasing muttons offshore or posted up at a campsite. Best part, it's 40 to 50% cheaper than the big name coolers, but still built to perform season after season. And like all Caddis Sports brand name gear, it's proudly made in the USA. Use code RUMBLE at checkout for 10% off of your order today. Go to caddissports.com. That's CADDIS Sports, SPORTS.com. Go and grab the Hunter Orange 25-quart cooler and keep your next adventure ice cold by going to caddissports.com using code RUMBLE at checkout for 10% off your order. That's caddissports.com. Use promo code RUMBLE and at checkout to get 10% off your order. All right. So, interesting little thing. You know how Ghislaine Maxwell did all of her testimony to the deputy assistant district attorney or whatever it was, you know, the attorney general, deputy attorney general. Well, apparently she now opposes release of grand jury transcripts in her trial. I can only think of one reason why. And realistically, considering who this individual is, I can only think of one reason why. She doesn't want what she said in the grand jury testimony to be bounced off in the testimony that she gave to the assistant AG or the deputy AG, which means that there is a good possibility that her grand jury testimony contradicts what she told the deputy AG. Gee, I wonder why. Could it be that she's lying? Could it be that she said in the grand jury that she knows absolutely nothing of any of the things that she was talking about in terms of Donald Trump being there or, you know, any of the other third party folks being a part of this whole conspiracy, and now she's angling for a pardon? And so she thinks that, hey, if I can say whatever I want to say now because I'm not under threat of being prosecuted anymore, that I can say whatever I want to say, and now I'm going to go ahead and lie about it and tell you something different than what I did in my grand jury testimony. You think? Do you think? Maybe? She's also, keep in mind, she's also trying to, she's trying to make sure that she can get some sort of a plea deal going or a pardon going for her 20-year sentence. So, yeah. Anyway, she's opposing it. She's opposing the public release of the grand jury transcripts. Now, supposedly her attorney is basically saying that, hey, you know, because she's not the focus of this, she, you know, has to, you know, she's trying to protect herself as a part of this. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. I don't know if you necessarily want to believe her or not, realistically. Now, she's also in the process of appealing her conviction for sex trafficking and has argued that she should have been shielded from prosecution by an agreement that Epstein made with federal prosecutors earlier. Her attorneys have basically expressed hope for a pardon from President Trump, though he has indicated that he hasn't even considered such a move. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, there's something weird going on with this thing. I'm just telling you. All right, folks, that is it for me. Oh, wait a minute. So what am I saying? This is Wednesday. Oh, my gosh, I got another half hour. Holy crap. Wow, I ran through a whole bunch of stuff really, really quick here. All right, let's just go ahead and say, can we say that Adam Schiff is really shifty? Yes, we can. And more so than just for the Russian collusion hoax, by the way. Oh, Adam Schiff. Yeah, I know. I see all of my Whiskey Warrior P1s. They're all sitting here going like, what the hell? Did you forget? No, Bam. Unfortunately, Bam, there is no pet of the week for this week because Amy couldn't get it to me and nobody else submitted anything. So unfortunately, no pet of the week. Unless I randomly grab some picture off the internet and make up a story about it. Which is possible, I suppose. But anyway, oh my goodness, I was about ready to end the show. And I can't do that. I can't do that to you guys. It's Wednesday. It's the long program. All right. So, let's just go ahead and talk about, Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff. You know, it's not just the Russian collusion hoax. Did you know that he's now under federal criminal investigation for the mortgage fraud violations? Yeah. Yep. And what's even worse, by the way, is that it's not just his California house or his Virginia or whatever house that he has over on the East Coast where he claims that that was his primary residence. But anyway, the investigation that is now underway has also found out, by the way, that he also certified as well that he has a condo in Burbank, Colorado, that he's claimed as his primary residence as early as 2023. So wait a minute. Let me think about this. He's got a house somewhere. He's got another location in property in Montgomery County, Maryland. That's he had an affidavit signed in 2011 that said that. And then now he's got this, I guess, this condominium. What the hell? Anyway, his office, of course, didn't respond to Fox News Digital's request for comment on the matter. But yeah, based on media reports, Mr. Adam Schiff has, in multiple instances, falsified bank documents and property records to acquire more favorable loan terms, impacting payments from 2003 to 2019 for a Potomac, Maryland-based property. As a regulator of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the Federal Home Loan Banks, we take very serious allegations of mortgage fraud or other criminal activity. Such misconduct jeopardizes the safety and soundness of the FHFA's regulated entities and the security and stability of the U.S. mortgage market. That was FHFA Director William Pulte, who wrote that letter to go over to Pam Bondi. So, yeah. So apparently, not only has he done this once, he's not only done this twice, he's not only done this 3 times, but apparently Fox News has now learned that he has actually misrepresented himself on 5 separate Fannie Mae loans. 5. That's 5. That's a big, I got to be careful with putting my hand up. Otherwise I'll screw up my camera. But that's 5 of them. Oh my gosh. He's done this not only once, not twice, but 5 times. Yeah. Yeah. So, they also, by the way, they didn't just do it like once and have it be a mistake. They reaffirmed that the Maryland home in particular was their primary residence in mortgage refinancing filings because they originally purchased it in 2003. Okay. In 2003, then they refinanced it in 2009, 2011, 2012, and 2013. All 4 other times they reaffirmed the fact that that's their primary residence. What the hell? Oh my gosh. Now, Fox News obtained a copy of the 2011 affidavit showing that Schiff signed certifying that the Maryland house is his primary residence. For those that aren't getting why this is a problem, it's literally because of the fact that in order to be any kind of a representative in Congress, you have to be from the state you are representing, meaning that you have to have a primary residence there. You can't just say, hey, I'm from, I don't know, Idaho and live in Washington. You can't. You must live within the state of Idaho. Now, the exception to that rule is, like I told you last night, you don't have to necessarily live within the district that you represent, but you have to be a resident of that state. So when he was in the House of Representatives, he didn't necessarily have to live in the district that he represented, but he definitely has to live within the state of California because that's where he was representing. He was a representative of the state of California. And being a senator, he definitely has to live in or have his primary residence in the state of California. So, yeah. This is another question, though, honestly. I mean, if Letitia James did this and Shifty Schiff did this, then who's to say there aren't others that are doing this? Especially on the Democrat side. Now, if the Republicans are doing this, yep, those folks need to get hit on as well. Because I'll be honest with you, it really doesn't matter. No one is above the law. No one is above the ability to be punished by the law. And so, yeah, they should also get wrapped in this as well. But the fact of the matter is that this guy not only lied on his mortgage application, he not only lied about the Russian collusion hoax, he was censured by his own peers in the House of Representatives for lying about the Russian collusion hoax, and California still voted his ass in as a senator when he took over Feinstein's seat, Senator Feinstein, in her passing. So we have all of that, all of his false filings there, but also in the same time frame, he took a homeowner's tax exemption on a condo that he owns in Burbank, California, also claiming that home as a primary residence for a $7,000 reduction off of the 1% property tax. Oh my gosh. I mean, seriously, yeah. Now, in 2023, apparently a spokesperson for Schiff asserted that Adams' primary residence is in Burbank, California, and will remain so when he wins the Senate seat. Yeah. So, these people, I'm telling you, none of them are above board. Let's just put it that way. None of them are honest. None of them have integrity. None of them have ethics, values, moral standards. None of them. Not a single one. I'm just telling you right now. So he is now totally under investigation for mortgage fraud. Also, too, something else that popped up in the letter as well. Has also popped up in the letter, which is that a federal jury convicted a person by the name of Marilyn Mosby of making false statements on a mortgage application for a Florida condominium when she was the Baltimore City's state attorney. So, yeah. These guys. I'm just telling you, these guys. Okay. Well, in line with the whole thing yesterday where I was talking about, and I am hoping this comes up. It's like it's trying. Okay. So in this whole line of people who sit there and look at the, remember I was telling you about this individual on Facebook who basically said that they can't even look at the American flag without feeling like they were going to come to any harm from the person inside. Okay. Well, apparently a Washington Post columnist okay, I just got to ask, if you really hate America that much, Democrats and leftist lunatic sycophantic morons that are out there, if you really hate America that much, just for your own mental health. I mean, I'm advocating for your mental health here. I'm advocating for your well-being, to lower the stress in your life, to lower your mental anguish, to lower the fact that some people, and this is another moron post, some people go and they wake up in the morning and they say, oh my gosh, they start looking for the this is sick. Start looking for the obituary of Donald Trump. Okay. Why? Why are you still here? If you hate America that much, what the hell are you doing here? Why do you live here? If you honestly believe that America is essentially the devil incarnate and, just go. Move somewhere else. Move to frickin', I don't know, Ireland or, I don't really care. Go anywhere. Go to Mexico. Go to Canada. Although Canada has real restrictions on immigration up there. But seriously, I mean, if you really hate America that much, just get the hell out. Why are you sitting here trying to fight against a system that has given you pretty much everything, including the ability to bitch, moan, whine, and complain about all of the very freedoms that this country provides to you, and spit on it at the same time? Well, there's this guy who is a longtime Washington Post columnist. His name is Jonathan Capehart. And, he's been with the Post for nearly 20 years. And he has decided that he's going to leave. And you'll never understand, or you'll never really know until you hear it from his mouth. But take a listen to this. This is how stupid these people are. Take a listen.
Jonathan, before we go, folks will have noticed that we introduced you slightly differently tonight than we usually do. We should point out, after nearly 2 decades at the Washington Post, you recently made the decision to leave. I just wanted to give you a chance to speak directly to our audience to tell them why.
Well, the direction of the opinion section changed. Jeff Bezos, the owner of the Washington Post, as is his right, decided that he wanted the section to focus on the twin pillars of personal liberties and free markets. And it became clear as time went along, and especially when he chose a new leader for the section, that there was just not going to be any room for a voice like mine, especially when we were told that we would have to be unapologetically patriotic in talking about the positive things happening in the country. How can you talk about the positive things happening in the country when the rest of the house is engulfed in flames and the foundation is flooding? I wanted to go someplace where my voice would be heard.
Jonathan Capehart, we're so glad your voice is heard right here.
Yeah. Now notice that. Hold on. Notice what he said. He wants to go somewhere where his voice is heard, meaning an anti-American sentiment. Really? An anti-American sentiment where his voice is heard. Well, his voice has obviously been heard for like 20 damn years, and it's been nothing but anti-American. And he can't even be patriot. This is the problem. This is it. I mean, this is it. Leftist lunatic morons, Democrats, just like that. Thanks for pointing that out, too. That representative, Jarhead pointed this out. What about the representative who said that she's Guatemalan first? We covered that last night. I mean, look, if you can't stand to be American, and you don't like America, get the hell out. Go somewhere else. Seriously, for your own mental health and mental well-being. Okay? I mean, I honestly, I just cannot figure this out. I mean, seriously, if I didn't love America and had the ability, I mean, let's just put it that way. Most people, I mean, if it's bad enough, you can freaking take off and go and do something else. Go somewhere else. Live somewhere else. The only request that I have is if you hate America so much, the place that you probably have been born has brought the entire world up in its standard of living for the most part, has brought all types of advancements, technological advancements, wonders, things that would never been thought possible. America has been involved in all of these. Okay? America has been involved in saving the entire freaking world from all kinds of nastiness, bad things. Now, granted, we're not perfect. I'm not saying that we are. America is not always perfect. But we have done, in general, over the course of our period of time on this planet, we have done a lot of good. A lot of good. And people across the globe, they look at Americans, they look at America, and they think to themselves, hey, we should go to the land of opportunity, because that's what this is the land of opportunity. This is the land where you can come here, you can be who you want to be, you can do pretty much anything if you put your mind to it and are willing to put in the effort and the time and the energy. And let's face it, I mean, not everybody has the same level of success that others do. But the opportunity is here. And it's definitely about a lot better than some of those socialist countries, or even now, as we see, even over in England, where some of the things that I talk about on this program probably would get me arrested over there. Some of the things that I post on my, accounts, social media accounts, might get me arrested over here. We're the only country, as Jarhead points out, we're the only country in the world that people constantly sit here and trash America and how America is so bad and its capitalist system is so bad. Yet I don't see any of them leaving. All these morons that are running around in the freaking Hollywood. You look at like Robert De Niro. He's made millions here. And all he does is bash and bash and bash. You have all these people in Hollywood, a vast majority of the ones in Hollywood. They sit there and they talk about all of this stuff, all the bad stuff that's going on in America. We're losing our rights. You're not losing anything. You haven't lost a damn thing. I got into a bit of an argument. When you get on the social media platforms, Facebook and X in particular, Facebook, I've noticed, is become more of a cesspool of leftist ideologies, more so than X, realistically, although I get hate on both of them. And realistically, again, kind of rounding this back to the beginning of the program, I don't really give a crap. You can say whatever the hell you want to me. You're not affecting me in any way. I'm not getting pissed. I'm not getting my feathers bent. I'm not getting bent out of shape. I'm not getting my nose bent out of shape because, frankly, none of your opinions really matter to me. You're a keyboard warrior somewhere in the world who just wants to spew hate and crap. I don't care. But you sit there and you talk about all the freedoms and things that you cannot do, yet every single time that you mention something, freedoms that you mention are not really freedoms. They're not really rights. For an example, the very first thing, guaranteed, all you have to do is point out, hey, we have not lost one single freedom or right today in America due to anything that the government has ever done. We have not lost one single right. And the very first thing, I guarantee you, that will come out of that post, the very first thing is, well, what about abortion? What about women and abortion? Again, not a right. Never has been. It's a medical procedure. There was somebody that pointed out, they were like, oh, you know, they were talking about this government, our government right now, the current administration. And I said, what? The current administration enforcing the Constitution and actually following it? And she immediately comes out and she's like, well, and yes, it is a she. I'm guessing it's a she because of this freaking, that's the name on the account. But she immediately comes out and she goes, I can point you to literally so many unconstitutional things this administration has done. Well, guess what? Let me go over there and take a look. All these unconstitutional. Oh, she finally responded. She finally responded. Let me see what she said here, because I actually even posted, point out to her. Oh, she didn't even respond to my question. So all I did, she goes, this is her quote. Okay, this is what she said. She said, in a constitutional republic, people elect representatives to make decisions, create laws on their behalf. The powers of these representatives and the government itself should be limited and defined by a constitution. The distinction doesn't change. The abhorrent direction the Republican regime is taking us. And I responded back to her and I said, okay, well, you mean back to the Constitution? How is that abhorrent? And she responds back and she goes, oh, please, I don't have the time to go through everything this admin that's done that's unconstitutional, but you know it. So I responded back to her and I basically said this. Just name two unconstitutional acts. Just give me two unconstitutional acts that this government has done. And here we are, 6 hours later since I posted that. And I actually even pointed this. I was like, 1 hour down, several more likely to go. And this woman refuses to answer the challenge. She responds back with this. Boring. Yeah. All right. So, in other words, you can't say even two unconstitutional acts. Figures as you're a moron. Yeah, all right, there we go. Oh, you know what? I should probably tag her. I should tag her. I'm going to edit that. Let me tag her. That. And then, what's her name? Oh, there she is. Yep. There you go, witch. Oh, and she's got a LGBTQ flag in her profile. Why does that not surprise me any? Oh, and an upside down American profile, or upside down American flag too. Yep. Okay. These people are so damn stupid. Every single one of them. They are just so damn dumb. They don't seem to get it. They don't understand. They honestly cannot, in any way, shape, or form, they cannot bother to to even remotely come up with or present themselves in a proper fashion. And they certainly can't, I mean, it's like, come on, folks. This is so stupid. You're just so damn dumb. And again, all I asked for, realistically, all I asked for was two possibilities of a unconstitutional act that this administration has done. I mean, just two. Just give me two. That's all. That's all I can ask. If you have literally hundreds that you're saying, and she can't even do that because of the fact that they don't know. They have no effing clue. They don't have this. They don't have the Constitution of the United States at their fingertips. They haven't even read it. And they don't even care. Oh, it's unconstitutional. Half of them probably believe that the Constitution says that part of our rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Which, by the way, those words don't show up in the Constitution. That's the Declaration of Independence, folks. Yeah, that's the Declaration of Independence. That doesn't show up in the Constitution. These leftist lunatic morons are all they are all that way. And yes, I use the term moron. Most of them consider it an insult. It's not an insult. It's a fact. It's a statement of fact. You can't come at me with that idea. You can't come at me with the idea that you yourself understand the U.S. Constitution, and you're going to come at me. And I'm not even the best at the U.S. Constitution, by the way. I'm not even the best at it. I'll be so glad when things like morals, standards, responsibility, accountability, logic, reason, ethics, integrity, all of that stuff comes back into style, because it has to. It's got to be coming back soon, I hope. Because I certainly need the America, actually, let me rephrase that. The entire world needs it. The entire world needs it. And these people, they can't even sit there and like be patriotic, because to them, patriotism has to deal with the government taking care of you, the government taking everything. And what they vastly do not understand, is the fact that anything that government gives, it must take away from somebody else. Meaning that if the government gives you money, it has to take money from somewhere. They can't just hand it out to you, because they don't just create it. They just can't. See, it's stuff like this that makes me realize that I should probably get my act together and start doing classes on the Constitution and the Declaration and all of that stuff. That I should start actually instructing on these things. I do have the Constitutional Quarter channel here on Rumble, which I haven't really used in a while. Maybe I need to figure out how to get that back into shape. So many people are lacking the civics education that they actually need in order to understand everything that's going on in our politics today. And while politics is one of the main pillars that you normally don't talk about at parties, it's definitely one of those things that you must pay attention to, because if you don't, you end up in a situation like what we have right here and what we have right now. Oh, yes, Bonnie, you did tell me that. Yes, you did. I know. Oh, Bonnie's one of my longtime whiskey warriors. Fantastic lady. She's just great. We get into it sometimes about bourbons, but it is what it is. Anyway. Well, how do you like that, folks? I filled in the rest of the other half hour. There you go. Now I can tell you, you should head on over to rumble.com, get yourself an account. It is free. And once you are signed up and signed in, make sure you search up the American Perspective channel, hit that green follow button to get notified every time I go live. And also, too, don't forget to hit those thumbs up and thumbs downs across all of my platforms, whether it's X, YouTube, Facebook, and, of course, the aforementioned Rumble. We will see you tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And, yeah, this is for real, folks. This is for real. And we will see you tomorrow night. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on American Perspective. Have a great rest of your evening, and good night, everybody.